All right, I'm going to tell you exactly what happens in Season 8 of Game of Thrones. First, 3 things to remember from the recap. First is the Ice Dragon. The Night King can make dragons undead. So there's now another dragon on the wrong side of history, I guess. The second one is that Jaime rode off into the sunset. Jaime was the biggest ally of Cersei, and the fact that he ran off indicates that he's not only done with her shit, but also will become a valuable asset, or has the potential to become a valuable asset for Daenerys' army. Daenerys, of course, won't accept him. So he's going to go to Tyrion, and Tyrion will manage to get a compromise for him with Daenerys, have him in jail instead of killed, and he'll remain there. But that will really fray tensions with between Tyrion and Daenerys. So eventually, in desperation, Tyrion will release Jaime. Jaime will be freed, and that will be the end of the last straw for Dany. Dany will release Tyrion. Tyrion will end up with Jon instead, exclusively working for Jon and not as the Hand of the Queen. Tyrion will also probably find out that Jon is Aegon, which is the other revelation. He'll probably find out, I think, from Bran. Bran will arrive and decide that Tyrion is the one to trust because he perceives all reality and realizes that Tyrion is a really worthy, stable, and intelligent sort of person who's actually looking out for the good of the country in addition to his own needs. The war in the north began. The Night King just conquered the wall. That was at the end of last season. So Cersei is going to pretend to help. I mean, they tried to get the alliance. I don't think it's going to last. Cersei will eventually just try to reap the profits of Daenerys' army, wasting its time trying to defeat the Night King, the real battle. So Cersei's going to probably consolidate power over the country while they're in this deadly fight with the Night King. Everything will seem lost. So in the battle, I think that everything will seem lost as the dead decimate the forces. They're going to completely wipe out Daenerys' army. Jon will discover he can ride one of the 2 remaining dragons. I mean, he is a Targaryen, and because of his identity as Aegon, he will be the person that takes over the second dragon, and that conveniently allows the show to get rid of the missing link of a third Targaryen, which is only present in the books. So Bran will at that moment see a vision that horrifies him. We won't actually see what it is, but eventually we'll realize it's Jon sacrificing himself. Jon will, as the noble son of Ned Stark that he is, will sacrifice himself in some way, probably taking down a dragon in midair with his own dragon. So both dragons will die. Let's say it's Viserion, for example. Jon is on top of Viserion. Jon and Viserion crash into the Ice Dragon. Jon, in some dramatic scene, dies in that. I predict that. Hot take. Daenerys will, of course, be distraught, be very, very angry in the way that Daenerys is, and that'll be her downfall. She will conquer. She will destroy the Night King. The Night King's forces will be decimated eventually by Daenerys' leadership. Daenerys will emerge victorious, and at the very last moment, we will see a shot where she's stabbed in the back and blood bubbles out of her mouth, and it will be the Night King's icicle stabbing her. And she will die too. I don't think either of them are going to survive. What happens after that? Sansa takes over. Sansa has already proven herself capable. The North already trusts her. Sansa will take over as queen, and in the aftermath of this war, Daenerys and Jon will become the great legends of the era. They will be, the Aegon, the conqueror of this time. So the Daenerys and Jon Snow will become legendary, and the country, the new country, the new 7 kingdoms, will be built on the memory of their memorial, of these 2 great heroes who sacrificed themselves, and whose blood allowed the new country to exist. And, we'll have there is, of course, the problem of Cersei. So the reason I think that Cersei will be out of the picture is because Cersei is going to be, at that point, marginalized. She will, at the very end, Daenerys is dead. Jon is dead. Cersei will come in, and she will have already conquered most of the country. But there is still, and Sansa will have basically be relegated to a rogue opposition figure in the forest, most likely, leaving Cersei as the actual queen. And the only reason Cersei loses, after the Night King is defeated by this Sansa, whose forces are incredibly diminished, as their 2 leaders die, it happens because Cersei is killed by Arya using the face of Jaime. This makes it a perfect system because his face will then be associated not only with a queen slaying, but with restoring the country from before. He will be killing Cersei, who is the last remaining royal figure of the country and regime he helped install. And in return, Sansa, as the remaining heir to the Targaryen conqueror legacy, due to the association with Jon, and the fact that she is an ally of Daenerys, and thus the next, the heir to the Targaryen, the new legends, the new heroes. Jaime's face killing Cersei will be a perfect Shakespearean end. She will be defeated in one go. Cersei doesn't have a very strong hold on any of these people. The only remaining link would be Euron, but Cersei would be done. Sansa would have the capacity to win the hearts of everyone, and that's how she would end up in power. It would be by Arya's final stroke, removing Cersei, one of her last people on her kill list. I don't think that Arya will reveal herself. I think that in history it will be written that Jaime Lannister killed Cersei Lannister. That's my hot take. That's how Season 8 is going to go. Wait until April, and see how correct I am. Thanks.